The reigning world champions suffered a stunning shock at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Argentina's remarkable 44-man streak without falling behind in a match finally came to an end against Egypt in the round of 16 in Atlanta. Egypt took the lead in the 15th minute through Yassin Ibrahim, ending Argentina's incredible run of never trailing since their defeat to Saudi Arabia in November 2022. It also marked the first time Argentina had fallen behind in a World Cup knockout match since facing France in 2018. Argentina's mystery deepened just 5 minutes later when captain Lionel Messi missed a penalty after his effort was brilliantly saved by Egyptian goalkeeper Mustafa Sobi. Despite the disappointment, Argentina set a new World Cup record by earning 19th penalty in tournament history, surpassing Spain's previous record of 18. Unfortunately, the historic moment turned into heartbreak as Messi failed to convert from the spot. The miss also worsened Messi's penalty record during regular time at the World Cup. Out of 8 penalties taken, he has scored 4 and missed 4, giving him a 50% conversion rate. However, Messi eventually rescued Argentina with an equalizer in the 83rd minute. The goal not only kept his team alive, but also matched Guillermo Stabile's 96-year-old record of 8 goals in a single World Cup edition. At age 39 years, Messi also equaled Miroslav Klose's record for the most World Cup knockout appearances. Still, the match produced another unwanted milestone. Messi became the first player in World Cup history to miss 2 penalties in the same tournament, after another save by Mustafa Sobi. Even so, the Argentine legend increased his international tally to 73 goals in 197 appearances. Meanwhile, FIFA's disciplinary committee fined United States striker Florian Balogun and US Soccer $40,000 following a serious disciplinary breach and his goal celebration against Bosnia. FIFA clarified that Balogun's red card remains on his record, but his suspension has been suspended for 1 year under Article 27 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code. As a result, the AS Monaco forward will be eligible to play against Belgium. The governing body emphasized that the probation is a legitimate legal procedure for non-match fixing offenses. However, if Balogun commits another disciplinary violation within the next year, the suspended punishment will automatically be enforced. Leandro Trossard once again proved why he is one of Belgium's most influential players, strengthening his status as the most creative playmaker at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. During Belgium's thrilling round of 16 victory over the United States, the Arsenal winger created his 17th chance of the tournament. His perfectly weighted pass was converted by Charles de Ketelaere for Belgium's second goal, restoring their lead in a dramatic contest. Trossard's vision, consistency and creativity have become the driving force behind Belgium's attack, with no other player matching his chance creation numbers so far. Spain also made history after defeating Portugal 1-0 in dramatic fashion in the round of 16. The winning goal scored in the 91st minute became Spain's latest winning goal in normal time at a World Cup in the last 16 years. It was Spain's most dramatic World Cup winner since Andre Iniesta's legendary extra time strike against the Netherlands in the 2010 World Cup final. The victory not only secured Spain's place in the quarterfinals, but also revived memories of their golden generation. Following Portugal's elimination, the Portuguese Football Federation acted quickly by appointing Jorge Jesus as the country's new head coach, replacing Roberto Martinez, who stepped down after the disappointing defeat. According to reports from Portuguese newspaper Ebola, Jorge Jesus is expected to meet the Federation officials soon to finalize the details of this contract. The experienced coach now faces the difficult task of leading Portugal's talented squad filled with world-class stars. Chelsea are also moving swiftly to secure the future of teenage sensation Jess Derry. The club is preparing a new long-term contract to ward off interest from Sporting CP. Bayern Munich and Juventus. The 19-year-old impressed during his team debut season against starring for Chelsea's academy. He recorded 11 goals and 3 assists in 25 appearances across Premier League 2 and the UEFA Youth League. Transfer journalist Peter Blocky reports that negotiations are now in their final stages. Although the player's future ultimately depends on new manager Xabi Alonso's plans. Tottenham Hotspur have reopened negotiations to sign Randal Colomwani despite his underwhelming loan spell from Paris Saint-Germain last season. The French striker, now 27, remains a player of interest for Spurs, with club officials continuing discussions over possible move. The decision have divided supporters, many of whom question whether Colomwani can adapt to the demands of the Premier League. Nevertheless, Tottenham's management still believe in his potential. Juventus have strengthened their executive structure by appointing Frederic Massara as Chief Football Officer and club legend Giorgio Chiellini as Chief Club Affairs Officer. Massara, who previously enjoyed successful spells at AC Milan and AS Monaco or AS Roma, will oversee the club's football operations and long-term sporting strategy. Chiellini will focus on representing Juventus in football institutions while strengthening relationships with key stakeholders. Real Madrid are close to completing the transfer of academy midfielder Bruno Galassi to Lazio. Both clubs have reached an agreement in principle, with Lazio preparing a long-term contract until 2029, including an option to extend until 2030. The transfer is valued at around $4 million, while Real Madrid will retain a 50% sell-on clause and buyback option, continuing the transfer strategy that has already earned the club more than $100 million this summer. Meanwhile, Real Madrid legend Dani Carvajal could remain in La Liga after leaving the Santiago Bernabeu following 13 successful seasons and 6 Champions League titles. Although he has received lucrative offers from Major League Soccer, Saudi Arabia and Qatar, the 34-year-old reportedly prefers to remain in Europe for family reasons. Newly promoted Deportivo La Corona are believed to have offered him a 1-year contract to add leadership and experience to their squad. Barcelona have been presented with an excellent transfer opportunity after Marcelo Brozovic left Al Nassr and became a free agent. The experienced Croatian midfielder, now 33, offers vision, composure and tactical intelligence. Although central midfield is not Barcelona's top priority, signing Brozovic without a transfer fee would represent an ideal financial solution after missing out on Bernardo Silva. Tottenham Hotspur are also searching for replacement should Lucas Bergamo and Papi Matasar leave the club this summer. One of their primary targets is Brighton midfielder Yasin Ayari. The 22-year-old Swedish international enjoyed an impressive Premier League campaign, registering 3 goals and 3 assists in 29 appearances. However, Spurs face stiff competition from Liverpool, Chelsea and Newcastle United. With Ayari entering the final years of his contract, Brighton manager Fabian Hazeler has already begun negotiations over a long-term extension to protect one of the club's brightest young talents. Real Madrid are monitoring Fabian Ruiz's contract situation at Paris Saint-Germain. The Spanish midfielder has entered the final year of his deal, forcing Paris Saint-Germain to consider selling him rather than risk losing him for free next summer. Real Madrid are reportedly preparing an opening bid worth between €30 million to €40 million, viewing the experienced midfielder as excellent value due to his quality and familiarity with the La Liga. Barcelona are also close to completing the permanent signing of João Cancelo from Al Hilal for a fee believed to be under €10 million. The Portuguese fullback is expected to sign a 2-year contract after pushing hard to return to Catalonia, having already made 65 appearances and scored 6 goals during his previous spell with Barcelona. Cancelo would require little adaptation and offers valuable tactical flexibility by playing on either flank. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano reports that Paulo Dybala has agreed to extend his stay at AS Roma until 2027. The Argentine forward has accepted a significant wage reduction in exchange for a new contract that includes performance-based bonuses and an option for an additional one-year extension. Despite interest from Boca Juniors, Dybala chose to remain in Rome, with new coach Gianpiero Gasperini viewing him as a central figure in the club's future projects. Ferran Torres' future at Barcelona appears increasingly uncertain, with Atletico Madrid emerging as the leading contender for his signature. Atletico manager Diego Simeone reportedly admires Ferran Torres' versatility, as he can operate both as a winger and a central striker. Barcelona, meanwhile, are eager to reduce their wage bill to finance additional transfers, making a deal beneficial for all parties if both clubs can agree on a transfer fee. Chelsea are preparing a move for Werder Bremen highly rated teenage defender Karim Koulibaly. The 19-year-old has been identified by manager Xabi Alonso as a long-term understudy to Liverpool on the left side of the central defense. After an impressive Bundesliga season featuring 27 appearances, Bremen have reportedly valued the defender at around €30 million. Paris Saint-Germain and Newcastle United are also interested. While Werder Bremen prefer an initial loan with an obligation to buy, Chelsea wants Koulibaly to join the first team squad immediately as part of their defensive rebuild following Marc Cucurella reported move to Real Madrid. Finally, Real Madrid president Florentino Perez is reportedly planning one of the most ambitious transfer projects in football history by attempting to unite Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, and Michael Olise in the same squad. To finance the operation, Florentino Perez is said to be willing to sell Brazilian star Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo. Their departures would generate the funds needed to pursue Haaland from Manchester City and Olise from Bayern Munich. Under this vision, Mbappe would move to the left wing, Haaland would lead the attack as the central striker, and Olise would complete the formidable front three. Although the proposal carries enormous financial and sporting risks, it reflects Real Madrid's determination to build another Galacticos era and continue dominating European football.